All right. Welcome back, everyone. We are here today with Anna PINCUS and Ramona Barnes, who founded a company called Orez that promotes conscious living. Hi, guys. How are you?
Hi.
Hi.
Happy to be here.
Thank you for being here. So I was recently introduced to you guys, and what I thought was so interesting was that you are promoting zero waste. And this is particularly interesting to me because I have been in this mental loop for a few months now where I'm constantly thinking about the fact that we are literally drowning in trash. Everywhere I look, and I travel a lot, and so do many, many people in our audience, I have increasingly noticed that everywhere you look, there's trash. Even the beautiful beaches in Thailand where I used to spend many years, many months, nowadays you just dive into the water and you're kind of just swimming through trash. And so when I saw your company, I thought, wow, I have to talk to these two. I want to know what inspired you to start this. I know what would inspire me and why I like your products, but what inspired you to start this and why do you think this is so important?
Well, I think I'll start first a little bit. It's funny you mentioned Thailand. I'm actually from Thailand, born and raised.
How are you?
Yes. And it's exactly what you said. You go to the beach, you see garbage. But I grew up in Thailand. We have a beach house. Mm-hmm. I'm always with nature. And back then, there was not plastic on the beach like the way you see it nowadays. But the reason why I'm so into this was about 10 years ago when I became pregnant. I was really into health, like eating really healthy, become vegetarian, and then I wanted to do natural childbirth, and then I go into like doing cloth diaper for my kids and taking away all the chemical from my house and, take canvas, tote back to a grocery store, drop off compost. I did all that stuff. But then I realized how hard it is. It's like, you're bombarded with plastic every day. So anyway, so throughout this whole 10 years, it's on and off, on and off. I get so into it and I get angry at people sometimes because even in my own husband, I get angry because like, really, can't you just help not take plastic home and stuff? So this 10 years, it's on and off. And I realized at this point that it's not about changing other people. It's about changing yourself first, do it right. And then maybe other people will be inspired to do the same. And we became friends. And then we start talking about it. And then we're like, let's do it together. Let's do the inspiration part of it.
Mm-hmm. And then I think when you say about this kind of overwhelming amount of trash that you basically are swimming through, not only in the ocean, but on the streets, everywhere, it seems sometimes to be such a big problem that you tend to become overwhelmed by it. And I've done some kind of foundation work around, removals of plastic, and it just becomes such a big thing that we just thought, well, really, if you just start yourself, just at home, it's really enough. If you just start to make the small steps, yourself, it's like the ocean is made up of tiny little drops of water. That makes an ocean. And if we're just that little drop, I'm one drop, you're one drop, you're one drop, and we all do what we do in our little space, that becomes the ocean. Yeah. And that's was also like kind of what we wanted to do was let's start to think about some really small things that we can do within our space. Let's start with what we have control over, which is our home or when we go out of our home, what we take with us, and let's create a kind of lifestyle, which is why it's called Orez, lifestyle. And just to put it out there, Orez is actually zero written backwards. So it's kind of the concept of it's a concept of
going back to basics.
Yeah, and heading in the direction of zero waste. We are not going to be like, we are zero waste. Do we sometimes pick up something with plastic? Absolutely. But we are always consciously heading in that direction. Yeah. Let's head towards zero waste, and let's do it in a non-judgmental fashion. Because otherwise you can sometimes just get dragged down with guilt.
Yes, and overwhelmed. You get so overwhelmed that sometimes you're like, you know what, forget about it. I can't do this. I don't want to do this. It's about, maybe one thing you can do. Maybe bring out your water bottle. And collectively, if we all can do this, we all can change something. Instead of like trying to be so perfect that it's almost too hard, let's not do it. It became a lot of that for a lot of people.
And then, to be honest, the other thing was like, we were trying to get all these products and going to all these different places to find them. And also they weren't that nice, some of them. Yeah. So we said, we'd like to design, we're quite minimalist and, we like to have beautiful things around, and we also realized that actually only bringing things into your home that you find beautiful, you know, makes your home a happier place. And so, for example, one of our best-selling items that we, you know, that people really, really love is our kind of dish set, which is a block of soap, a big square block of soap on a beautiful handmade
pottery.
Yeah, handmade pottery with 2 brushes, one for the pans and one for the pots. And it's, I mean, I actually get pleasure out of going to my sink now and seeing this beautiful like setup instead of this old dirty sponge and a green, you know, fairy liquid plastic.
And on top of that, I think it's easier to do the cleaning because you don't have to open the plastic or, you know, to pour the container. You just use the brush, dip it in the water, scrub on, and you just leave it right there. I find doing dishes is more fun actually that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're trying to put together something that's practical because we do it at home ourselves. Before we came up with this, we actually been living this way, so we try to do it ourselves, and that's why we're bringing our own experience and how we search for products around the world. Like I said, I'm from Thailand. I'll find something from Thailand sometimes, or, you know, just try to put it together in a way that it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought when I looked at your products, I thought, wow, they're so beautiful, because I like beauty. I like things to look nice, and I mean, obviously I like nature to and preserve its beauty in its rawest form, and having natural products is so much more beautiful than an orange plastic bottle and a yellow sponge and a green. Also, I've never understood why all these products have neon colors on them.
Well, also the other thing that we're trying to promote is this concept of like voluntary simplicity. It's like when you go to the supermarket, you have 15 different shampoos to choose from, or dish soap, and you know, we don't have that. We don't believe that we have one, you know, block of soap. You know, we have 2 options, but you know, that's it. You don't need to have many options. The one thing will do the job. It's with like shampoo. It's like, you know, we have our shampoo soap bars, you know, instead, and our conditioner bars. It's like, we really believe in voluntary simplicity because it also gives your thought space more time to think about other things that are more important to you when you have less options. It's like, you know, when you go to a restaurant or something, you have to spend 20 minutes looking at all these options on the menu. If you can have less, simplify everything. We're trying to just simplify everything and bringing it back to basics. And also that's with our clothing line. We decided to expand into clothing earlier this year by creating a capsule collection of clothes where almost every piece except for the trousers that one wears is reversible. The dress is reversible, the tops are reversible, the jackets are reversible, and all the pieces go together, and they're all linen, so you don't necessarily need to iron them, so you can pack them. So yeah, we're just trying to make things as simple
because you know
possible.
Like the fashion industry is like the 3rd largest polluter in the planet right now. The whole microplastic, whenever you do laundry, this little microplastic that you can't even see goes into waterway. The animal feed into that, and you're end up eating plastic also. So that's why we're trying to do everything either cotton or linen only. That's it, because then it's natural and you're not going to hurt the environment. And we're doing slow fashion, so everything is made here in New York. We're not making too many pieces as well. And our thing is not about trend or fashion. Our thing is about timeless piece that you can always have in your closet forever. That's kind of our thing.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, as somebody who lives out of a suitcase most of the time, I have to have everything be simple, versatile, look good, be elegant, be practical, and also, you know, if you go from hot climates to cold climates, I can't do synthetics. That's so uncomfortable.
It just don't feel good on your body, and just not just knowing it, but the feeling of it too. If it doesn't breathe and it starts to smell, I think.
Yes, that's a fact.
No, we have the whole, you know, like for example, our kimono dress that we created is something. It's one of our favorite pieces, but you can wear it to work. For example, you can either wear it with a belt, without a belt.
front, back.
And then in the evening, it's quite sexy,
glamorous.
You know,
it could be just like dressed up, dressed down, but that's the concept.
In fact, she wore it last night to a dinner that we went to with Anna Wintour, so you could even wear it up to the head of Vogue.
Exactly.
Time.
Did she comment on it?
She did. Well, we did point it out to her.
Talked about it.
Yes.
But it's a simple, elegant. You know, it's just and you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
And then just going back to this voluntary simplicity thing as well, you know, like for example with our makeup brand that we have
so
as well, it's also just fantastic. Our favorite one is a rose clay kind of lip and cheek
and eyes, touch of
bar, but we use it, it's the only thing I travel with. It's actually, I mean, everyone that's bought it has absolutely loved it. It's the only thing they carry in their bag. You put it on your lips, your cheeks, and your eyes. It's the only thing you just need.
And it's not the fake pink. It's like the earthy pink that's like perfect for every skin color, which is pretty rare. Usually you find too pink, better for like lighter skin, but this one goes with every skin color, and it comes in paper tube, which is like so exciting. When we found this company, we were like so excited, and now that we use it, we love it. That's the kind of thing that we kept finding.
The wrapping is made out of paper?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like cardboard paper that's like a tube. It looks like it looks exactly like lipstick, like that, you know. You just have to push it with your finger at the bottom.
Yeah, and the ingredients are like clay, carrots. You could almost eat it. And that's the thing. We all care so much about what we put in our bodies, right? We're so conscious of like eating organic, buying organic, or being a vegetarian, all these things. But then some of the times we don't go that little extra step of being like, well, what are we actually putting on our skin? What are we putting on our hair? You know, because all of that comes, you know, gets inside your body. So all of our products are 100% organic.
I feel like nowadays people are, or not all of the people, but most of the time you see like all this cosmetic company and younger people doing so much makeup. You don't even look natural anymore. Like, do we really have to spend an hour in you know, every morning doing your foundation and this and shading? So we're keeping it simple. We're doing like, you know what, this one stick works for everything, and it just enhances you. You still look like you, but you look fresher. You know, so we want everything to be so simple and natural beauty to shine, basically.
I'm obsessed with skincare, and at the same time, I think people are always shocked how simple it is what's in my bag, because I make my own little bottles of oils that I mix.
Yeah, I love doing that too. Yeah.
Depending on the climate I live in, it's just whatever I can get there.
Oh, you'd love our face oil then. We'll have to send you one of them, because we're obsessed with that.
Yeah. And it's just, I have like my little interchangeable glass bottles, and I just put that in, and then sometimes when I run out. So the founders of the DNX, I think some of the people listening will be able to relate to that too. We were in Brazil and very far off the grid in the jungle, and nobody came through with supplies. So we were, you know, we're just experimenting. I mean, obviously you can go to the store and buy commercial products, but that was not going to happen. So, you know, we washed our hair with coconuts, like fresh coconut water for a while. And that was really good.
Amazing.
Just straight up coconut water. And then you just jump in the ocean, rinse it off. I had so much volume, and my hair wasn't actually as greasy. It was fantastic.
Yeah. People think when you use oil that you're actually going to get greasier, but you actually don't.
No,
you know, no. Or your hair. And in fact, I used to, take off my makeup. I just use coconut oil.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just,
I use coconut oil for 10 years.
Yeah, I'm a little coconutty, you know, like I put it in my hair, I take off my makeup with it, I use it as a foundation, I put it on my skin, and to be honest, now that I came back from the tropical climate where I use coconut oil on my skin every day, and I came back to New York and I bought, I think it was avocado oil, some other oil, my skin is very dry and it's not as soft, I have to say. I think coconut oil is like the winner across the board, no matter what you do.
It's funny, because I learned about coconut oil since I was younger in Thailand. When you go to Koh Samui or whatever on the island, there were local people that use like they reuse bottles, you know, like those like Red Bull bottle, glass bottle. They would sell like homemade coconut oil on at the beach for like, I don't know, 20 baht. it's not even.
They still do. They still do. Right? I have those Red Bull coconut bottle one. Yes.
And it smells unbelievable because it's so fresh.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't smell like what you buy here. Mm-hmm. And then you just lather it on your body, and you can be in the sun. You still get burned if you're like lay in the sun all day long, but it doesn't burn that bad. And if you're burned and you apply afterwards, actually your skin heal much faster too. That's how I learned younger, since I was little, that like coconut oil is amazing. And I put it in my hair, it gives me curl, put it on my face, under eye. Like I really use it for years. And
it's everything. And if you're living in the tropics and you cut yourself or there's a big scrape, I just apply coconut oil because it's an antiseptic and it won't get infected. If you try use something like Neosporin, that won't stay on and it's useless. But coconut oil will keep it clean, will keep it I don't know what it is. It's a miracle oil.
Right? It's like apple cider vinegar, those two things. It's like coconut, apple cider vinegar. You have a pot, I put that on.
Yeah. So what is in my luggage? It's usually a jar of coconut oil. It's a bottle of apple cider vinegar. And then we have, we have some charcoal. We have something that resembles a toothpaste and a toothpaste mix. And then, like a bar of soap to wash my hair if I wanted to wash it, the soap bars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what we have. Yeah,
we have a soap bar and conditioner bar and body balm bar. So nothing comes in like bottle whatsoever.
We even have a moisturizer like a soap as well. So when you come out, when you want to moisturize your body, you just put the soap over your skin. It's a moisturizing soap. So then, just think about all the packaging that we're saving. You're not throwing away shampoo. You're not throwing away the moisturizer. And then we've even come up with our own toothpaste soap.
That one.
So when you finish the toothpaste soap, you just refill it. So you're not throwing away the packets of toothpaste. And then we have our dental floss as well. So when as soon as you finish that dental floss, you don't throw away the packet, you buy the refill.
Yeah, it's in a glass jar, which is so cute.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
So we've kind of really almost eliminated everything from the bathroom. Yeah. Kind of.
And they look pretty together, setting it up in your bathroom.
See, the beauty factor is so important in this because I need it to look good,
They do. They do.
It has to be beautiful. Yeah, I just came back to the States a few weeks ago and I had a bit of a meltdown because I wasn't really sure where to do anything anymore. There's no refillable water stations, so I don't know where to refill my water.
Yeah. Europe's better with that.
Yeah, I got so confused. I ordered my organic shampoos online, but they came in such excessive packaging for shipping that I had a meltdown over that because I'm like, why do we use all of this garbage? I mean, the garbage I produced by having it shipped because I couldn't buy it in the store was just unimaginable to me.
So when we ship, which I've been shipping myself because we just started our company, we're still kind of small, so I'm able to control all of that. And we definitely make sure either we reuse whatever we can, we don't put all these little bubbles, we use the smallest bag, we layer things to make sure that there's no excess garbage, because I have dealt with that. When you order one thing, it comes in this crazy box with like tons of little plastic in there. I mean, like
she even makes the glue.
Yeah, I'm like
she makes homemade glue to put the
label. I put the label on our soap with like natural glue because I'm like, why do stickers is actually plastic. I'm like all the way into like that kind of because when if you buy products, even though it's like zero waste, it comes in little. If there's no packaging, but there's still stickers, then that's kind of plastic too. And you have to deal with.
I know. I ordered a brand that was supposedly fully sustainable, and it came wrapped in a oversized box that was probably 4 times the size of the actual product, in plastic wraps and bubble wraps.
Yeah, that's what worries us about like expanding, because then you like not having the control. Because right now, as she says, we are shipping literally from like. Our house to so we have control over that. Yeah,
because it is our passion, and so for us to be able to control everything, because it's really come from like the real feeling of wanting this to be zero waste as much as possible. So we wanted to make sure that when the customer gets our product, it has to represent that. It can't come in plastic wrap. Even our tape, it's not Scotch tape like that.
It's paper tape.
Yeah.
So,
I love that.
And then
I love that you guys really think about every single detail.
Yeah, and we don't have a single product that we feel doesn't have like almost like multiple uses, like our makeup, or for example, our containers that you store your food in the fridge, they're enamel, they're beautiful white enamel with this beautiful wooden top. But we decided to carry these and design these because you take them right out of the fridge. You can put it straight into the oven. You can put it straight onto the stovetop. You don't have to, put it into something to reheat. And they're so beautiful that you can take them to a picnic. And then the wooden top, you can use as a chopping board if you want, or to place your cheese on the top. And so we've really put like a lot of thought into all of the ways that you can, use them multiple ways, or to reduce needing an extra thing to then take it to the picnic or to reheat it. And and also just through our own lives by trying them out. And even, we actually have made a few little videos. If you follow us on Instagram, you'll see, like, almond milk, for example. People don't understand how easy and quick and simple it is to make your own almond milk.
It tastes much better.
And and you'll stop throwing away all of these, almond milk packages. And then we made a little almond milk video, and then we were like, oh God, but we're throwing the pulp away from the almonds. What can we do with this almond pulp? Because it's good. It's not bad. So we made up a recipe for these amazing, delicious coconut almond cookies. So now there's like, so we're always evolving. We're always learning ourselves.
It's fun, this is a lifestyle. This is not something as a trend or anything. This is about, like, what can you do around your living situation that actually is sustainable and fun at the same time.
Yeah, and even when we travel together, we because we're friends too, as well as business partners. So we, go on holiday as well, and we really research, like, well, what hotel are we going to stay at, when we go to Tulum, or somewhere. It's like, let's has, which is the greenest hotel, and
which one is the greenest hotel in Tulum?
Well, we stayed in
actually Tulum. They're pretty good.
Yeah, okay.
Azulik, there's no electricity. If you don't mind putting your makeup on by candlelight, which is very hard.
Yeah,
but Azulik is pretty amazing.
Yeah, Azulik, that's true. Yeah, so
and they built all the pathways, about 5 inches off the ground, so that they're not even damaging the earth underneath them. So it's,
That's true. That's true. See, I live in Tulum part of the year. That's why I'm like, which one did you pick?
Well, we stayed at 2. We went to B Tulum and Azulik. Well, we wanted to try out 2 of them. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, how lucky.
Yeah. And so like I don't make almond milk there. I make coconut milk. I buy the coconuts, I drink the coconut water, and then I make the coconut milk out of and it's so delicious. It's so much better. It's so much better. It's, I can go on and on and on about this forever. They're just things that I don't understand, by the way, about certain products. I've been having this crisis of not understanding what's going on in some of the different product lines, because, when you take out these coconut beverages that are now sold in the markets, they reduce the fat in them of the coconut oils. And then they're now selling MTC oil separately to add the layers of fat back into your drink and for your coffee. Am I understanding this correctly? That it's definitely
that's what they're trying. It's money. Yeah.
I'm like,
making the product.
I was looking at this because I'm like, so you have you buy the reduced fat watered down coconut milk, and then I buy the separate product here to add the fats back in that you took out of the coconut milk. And now we have a mountain of trash as a result, where we could just leave it in its rawest form.
If you can just go with no process of anything, right? If you can just get straight to the actual coconut itself and just eat that meat, and then you get the whole nutrition and the fat. Now we all know how important good fat it is. So, definitely.
Exactly. It's
Natural
all about.
Yeah, but it's the same, like one of the other products that we carry, are these little kind of cotton bags for, like, when you go to the supermarket, and you get your apples or you get your green beans, and it's just, you do not need to use those plastic. And sometimes I'll be out and I've forgotten my bag, so I will literally just put everything in my basket without a bag, even the green beans, but I think sometimes people don't even know that you can do that you actually don't have to put 5 lemons into a plastic bag, and it's these kind of, I think it's this kind of consciousness,
really
which is why,
crazy.
We also say, ORES conscious living.
It's about being more conscious.
It's about being conscious. It's about thinking about that and stopping yourself from doing that, being like, oh, I actually don't have to do that.
And you feel good though. When you're more aware and you do it, you realize you're part of making things better, not part of making it worse. And we all know it's bad, but a lot of people just don't even want to care. But like, you know, even if you care a little bit, it makes you really feel good on the inside.
Yeah, like you carrying your own things. When you mentioned, this is what I have in my suitcase when I travel. It's like, you know, when you go to a hotel and you see all the little plastic bottles of shampoo that are one use only, and then you're throwing that little plastic bottle in the trash. And
especially if you're on the plane, imagine every time they hand you like all this like little like earbuds and little pouch of like plastic pouch.
Yeah, just refuse. I mean, no,
you use it like for like what, how many hours on the plane, and a lot of people just toss it. Like it's just like the saddest thing, this whole like
it's so sad. And I think when you develop that consciousness to insist on what is important to you, you also have an opportunity to educate people on why you're doing it. And a few days ago, I just wanted to grab 3 bottles of sparkling water for my friends for a party. And I had to go to 3 or 4 different bodegas because they only carried the plastic types.
Well, thanks you. That's great. You made the effort.
That's amazing. I've done something like that where I try to be 100% zero waste. So I had to go to 3 or 4 different grocery stores just to like make sure I go zero waste, because you go to bulk food store at this one place, and you go to get like farmers market to get like real fresh produce. And then you go to another supermarket where they offer like, you know, detergent and stuff. So like there's so much effort into doing this that like we all need to change. Hopefully supermarket, if we can request for it and they start to do that for us also.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. You can, like, for example, you know, we actually live in the same building as well in New York City, and composting.
In the same school for a while. And
composting is a really big deal, you know, when you live in a city, because you have to walk to the park. And so, you know, but Ramona requested that the building, we got enough signatures that the building then said, okay, we will bring the compost bin in. And now all we have to do is walk down to the bottom and do it.
Your freezer, you know?
Yeah.
If you've done it, you know, you have to freeze them in your freezer. I can't go every day. So, you know.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it gets confusing for house guests because I also freeze some of my vegetables. So bad. And then I also freeze the compost. So I'm like, different sections. Smoothies, that's for compost.
I like to hear this, that you're so into it too.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
And I think it's really like, you know, we have children, as we were saying, and it's so fun to watch them learn.
Yeah.
It's so great because they learn by example. You know, it's like when I go with my children now and we order a drink somewhere or something, they will refuse the straw. I mean, they will.
The ice cream cone that has this little plastic sleeve, like my son would be like, no, thank you. Like, you know, he would just, they know.
Yeah, so it's great to just lead by example. And even with the composting, you know, they're aware, oh no, this is food, so this goes here and this goes into the plastic. And, you know, so I think it's just...
Yeah, I learned it from I grew up in Germany where these things are a little bit different anyway. But when I first came to America, I learned that from my American stepmom, who's very good at shaming people at the supermarket, because we always come with our own bags, you know, like in my family, we have never used plastic. That was out of the question. And by the way, in the 90s and you know, early 2000s.
That was early to have the conscious.
In Germany, I've been
in Germany, yes.
Well, in Germany, that was normal, but try that in America, you know, at the Piggly Wiggly or whatever they're called. That's a challenge, you know, because they just refuse to bag your bags in it. And she was always very big. What was the line that she used? She'd be like, do you want to have children, to the people at the grocery store? And she'd be like, yes. And she's like, do you want them to have a world to live in? And they'd be like, I don't understand. And she'd be like, you will one day. Use the canvas bags.
I mean, my grandmother is from Switzerland. So I visit her, and I'm sure it's the same thing as Germany. Like, you either have to pay for bag, right? Or you just bring your own bag. It's been that way forever, since I was 11 when I went to stay with her in Switzerland. And how they, you know, like the pasta box that has like a little window with plastic, she would pull that plastic out and she would put it in a separate bins that she has. And they drive it down the mountain to drop it off at like recycling place. That's that kind of like people respect that more.
Well, that's what I think, you know, part of our whole philosophy as well with Ores is let's go back to the way things were before. For example, like, you know, I'm half Spanish, and, you know, I'd spend the summers with my grandparents in Spain, and they would, you know, pull the water up from the well, and they would wash their clothes, hand wash them with soap. Yeah. And when the soap ran out, they would get another piece of soap. And, you know, so we're kind of bringing back, and that's the whole thing with the dishwashing. It's like, no, we can clean the dishes with soap. We've been doing it for 2 years, but it works.
I mean, it's only because, like, I find, you know, the stuff on Marcel, that soap, it's so beautiful that I like to imagine people back in the day, how they do it. And once I learned that women back in the day use it to do their dishes, laundry, wash their hair, even brush their teeth, that's when I'm like, duh, let's bring it back. Like, it doesn't have packaging. You don't even have to bring your bottle to fill it up. There's not. It's the easiest thing ever. So let's just bring that kind of stuff back. It works.
You know, in Brazil this winter, there was a bar of coconut something soap, and it was very pure. I looked at all the ingredients, and I ended up using it as like body soap. I used it as shampoo, and that's what I used to wash my clothing and the dishes ultimately, because I mean, you know, I wasn't gonna.
The marketing,
you know, once I overstay my plant supply, then I have to get creative, and I usually discover some really good stuff.
Exactly.
We're going to have to make a coconut product for you, I have a feeling. This is coming up a lot.
We can source good coconut from Thailand.
Yeah.
Coconut deodorant or something.
Yeah. No, I do use coconut deodorant already. Yeah.
I have one as well, actually.
Yeah.
we're working on our own deodorant right now.
Yeah,
we have one that's a mineral one, but it's not our brand, but we are coconut. I'm a big coconut. It just reminds me of being in the tropics. It makes me feel like I'm in summer and I'm on a holiday. The smell, everything about it.
Coconut will solve all of your problems. Simplify life, for sure. All right, guys, this was amazing. Thank you so much for spending this time with us. We're definitely going to post all of the links below so people can find you, learn more about your products and your lifestyle. And thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Great talking to you.